Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Just an unboxing today, not a review. We're going to take a look at something new from Artisan Cutlery, which I have not opened this up yet. Total mystery to me, but you know, especially with CJRB's Latitude, that was the last time that this company, Artisan Cutlery CJRB, the last time they really, made something I thought was really exceptional. They've made good products for a long time, but the Latitude I thought was pretty exceptional, so I'm excited to see what else they come out with. I fully expect Artisan and CJRB to do plunge locks, crossbar locks, liner locks, frame locks, a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing. But now I also expect them to mess around with some other locking systems periodically. I don't expect them to erase or remove older or, sort of oversaturated locking systems, but I do expect to see some different things here and there, along with, their kind of off the beaten path designs, which is always fun for me. Thanks to Artisan Cutlery for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I'll have this linked down in the description so that you guys can go down there and check it out if you want to. The seal. We have to break the seal. All right, there. And oh wait, what's it called? The Santee. The Santee stonewashed S35VN blade with gray titanium handle. Okay, we're off to a very generic start. Let's see what we've got. Okay, all right, okay. Now hold on a second. Who's the designer here? Who designed this knife? Dirk Pinkerton, I can tell right away. So, to many people, and I would say that this is fair, to many people this is going to come off as a very, a very generic design. This has that sort of elongated, this looks like 2015 to me. But there is a charm to that. And we have nice domed thumb studs. I'm so glad. I don't know if this is, I'd love to toot my own horn and say it was me. I complained about that and they're starting to do it, but maybe not. Maybe it's just like somebody was like, oh yeah, like this, we should try this. It's comfortable. And it is. The domed, I mean, God, it's literally perfect. It's a perfect thumb stud. Now you could make every single thumb stud in the entire industry look like this and then it would be, boring. There's a little bit of, design wiggle room to make something fun and interesting and maybe not absolutely perfectly optimized, but we also don't need to have thumb studs that are in the shape of, I don't know, a cactus, like a mutant cactus that's made out of metal. That's not the shape of a thing that I want to interact with, using my thumb. So this is nice, really good. Dirk Pinkerton, at least, I've sit here and say that I influenced Dirk. I doubt it. I bet Dirk Pinkerton was like, this is just a comfortable thumb stud. But it's nice. Nice thin profile too. This is on the thinner side, some jimping zones back. Here we have a simple popsicle stick style clip that is reversible to the other side. And then we have a long trailing point blade. Nice belly. Really nothing out of the ordinary here, but straightforward and utilitarian and slightly different from a lot of the same stuff that we've seen. Honestly, there's a couple of different knives that this makes me think of. Not that they're copies, but I've seen things from Ray Laconico that are not exactly the same. I don't think he typically does this blade shape, but I've seen this sort of, minimal, I hate using that word, but minimalistic aesthetic. I've also seen, is it the Duckling? I think that's the knife that it really makes me think of, which is a good one. Straight, plain lines. And for people who, I get this, I got people in my comments who will look at this and say, this is a little bit boring, Metal Complex, right? We have to remember that there are people who stay specifically, and you can make yourself known in the comments. There are people who probably watch my channel just purely, the vast majority of the time, just for entertainment. They like to see the wild and crazy stuff, but they're not necessarily the buyers of the wild and crazy stuff. And my channel shows a lot of wild and crazy stuff. Periodically, I like to show more of the traditional, straightforward, modern tactical knives because I know that a lot of people strictly buy within those parameters and they're really only interested in that sort of aesthetic. On top of that, they tend to be, this is the reality of it, they tend to be more efficient users. Obviously, you know, I'm not saying that the frame lock is the most optimized locking system or that this blade shape is the most optimized blade shape, but typically what comes with a more traditional tried and true handle shape and more traditional tried and true blade shape is better efficiency, right? So there is a correlation there, and I understand that, and I want to show only that stuff or only the cradle. I don't want to only show knives like the Alchem, right? But something like this, designed by Dirk Pinkerton, who has a really good track record of, you know, successful designs and functional designs, made by a company like Artisan Cutlery, who most of the time does a really, really good job. Yes, it's absolutely worth showing. But like I said, there are a lot of things out there like this. So unless Artisan Cutlery has put an absolutely phenomenal price tag on this thing, it's probably going to get overlooked, and that's just the reality of it. I'm going to give you guys the, you know, I'm going to give you the, I don't want to say give you the business. I'm going to give you the facts of this. Something like this in 2026, in S35VN and titanium, you can't put a $250 price tag on it. You can't, right? A lot of people say, well, it's made in China, it should be $50. And those people, all of us together, we'll just high five that person right in the face together and say, no, you don't know what you're talking about. That's true. Something like this absolutely can factually fall between $150 and $200. And I think if Artisan Cutlery has a price on it, I don't know what the price tag is yet because I'm doing this blind. You guys will know because you'll be able to actually go to my description, use my link, and see it. But my, you know, as sort of my first impressions of this knife, I think it's nice. I think it feels functional. It's very easy to manipulate. The finish is nice. Assuming Artisan Cutlery is hitting at least 59 to 61 on the S35VN, I think that's fine. But I think typically they hit it higher, 60 to 62. It's fine. We have a pretty basic construction. It's flat, not contoured, not textured, no inlays. S35VN is not the most expensive steel. Simple finish, no backspacer, just standoffs. This is a $175 knife. If it's more, if it's too much, I mean, if it's a little bit, it's 180, no, okay. But if we're looking at 200, 225, especially 250, I'm going to say no. We have Kaiser and Concept making this product all day, 150 to 200. So that's where I think it should be. And I'll review this product, but there is absolutely no reason that we should be looking at anything higher than that. Yes, we are having to do both Artisan Cutlery and Dirk Pinkerton involved with this, but you know, usually my argument is sometimes you get an OEM doing this and you get a designer, we have to consider we're paying both parties and it has to be profitable. Otherwise, like, what are they doing? They're just running a charity, which people seem to expect, but forget that that's not feasible, you know. Sometimes we're looking at like OEMs like Bestech or Riot, who are known to just charge way too much for their end of it, right? Artisan Cutlery has tons of projects with other designers, and those projects are built with similar materials and come in at sub 200, right? So we have way too many examples there, so I'm hoping that this is well under 200, right around the 175 range. That's kind of what I would expect, and I don't know that I'm going to budge from that opinion. But you guys can think what you want. I don't know that there's really a whole lot more to say, so I'm going to measure it here real quick. Overall length is coming in at just shy of 8. Yeah, it's like 7.9. Your blade length is 3.5 on the dot, and your cutting edge is about 3.4. Milling for weight, no milling for weight reduction. And your actual weight, that might weigh sub 4, but it's probably 4 or slightly over. No, it's 3.5. Okay, that's pretty good, you know, blade to weight ratio. That's it for today. We'll do the full review down the road. Hopefully it's where I want it to be for price. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.